Hey everybody, welcome back to James Plays Little Hope. Things are finally happening in this game, but it's led to us ending up in a sewer. So we've got a sewer level in this game, which is, you know, you just don't do that at this point in time. It's just synonymous with bad design, you know, but maybe I can forgive it for this game because it's not like a traditional type of game. So this isn't a traditional type of sewer level. Okay, so there's, alright. Mashy, mashy. I mean, you know it's right behind you, so just keep going. Just go! Why stop and look like...
Angela! Shit! No!
She's fine. We didn't see her die, so...
What did she do to deserve that?
It's just you and me now. Until Taylor and Daniel get to us. Hey!
So I guess that's the end of the sewer. Okay, that's great. Alright, I forgive you, game. Sewer level section wasn't that bad. It was 10 seconds, so I did not know.
There's something blocking the door. Give me a hand, will ya?
More mashy mashy? No, I just do it. I will say this, at least the sewers, you know, at least we're not walking along a road. Little change of pace there. And this, we're in a building again. Things are getting a little bit different finally. And I'm appreciative of that. I just think maybe they could have broken up that beginning section a little bit more.
Stay focused. We're not having a rerun of what just happened to Angela.
You sure about that?
I'll do whatever it takes to keep us both safe. Once we're out of here, we'll hook up with the others.
That's if they're still alive.
But what do you mean by hook up? Because I mean...
Why is this kid out here on her own?
It's strange.
Maybe she's linked to Mary somehow?
Gotta be. Though how and why, I'm not sure of yet.
I imagine there's going to be lots of neat little goodies to find in here. Hey! Hey! That is... okay. That's the same book from the prologue, and I guess we're in the museum where they sold the book. So that's neat. Anything in this? No, but we can look at the... on the wall here. So, yeah, when I may be inaccurate on this, but back then, this is another big point of the whole witch accusations thing. If you were arrested and you entered your plea, you know, you were like, oh, I'm guilty or I'm not guilty or, you know, that then put you in a position to have your property forfeited and seized by the government, I guess. So it was a real power play that you could just screw somebody over by calling them a witch. Or, you know, any other things, I suppose. That it's just immediately you were kind of just screwed over. Even if you were found, like, not guilty or innocent. I don't know exactly how it all worked, but it's just you did not want to get in that mess in the first place. Oh. This is what I talked about with Giles Corey. The pressing, the torturing of being laid out with a board and rocks placed on top of you. A lot more rocks than that, that's for sure. A lot heavier than that. But yeah, this is what happened when you didn't enter a plea, because you needed to enter a plea in order to be tried and in order to have your assets forfeited. So by Giles Corey refusing to enter a plea, he essentially kept his property secure to be handed down to his heirs, which is kind of a baller move. I mean, the whole thing, especially if it's true that the only thing that he said was more weight. It's like, just like, that's more badass than I could ever be. And I really hope I'm never in a position where I have to ever deal with anything remotely close to that. So, these are mannequins without faces. Don't know if you noticed that, but that kind of coincides with, you know, how there was that dude with no face in the flashback thing, the time travel. Maybe, at least. I mean, I would say it's a connection, but I don't understand the connection. Also, another thing that we've been seeing a lot of is the idea that pilgrims wore black. You're seeing it right here, you're seeing it in those past events, and even in my little drawings, I kept it that way, because that's what we all know to be a pilgrim. That's what we have been taught. But black was not very common, because black was, you know, not an easy thing to make for fabrics then. So it was a very rare, a very expensive fabric. So pilgrims wore more natural colors, like whites, off-whites, browns, tans, leathers, things like that. Not black. Black was not common. Here's hangings. We already talked about how those played out. There's some stocks here. This was, you know, before murdering was in style. Punishments just tended to be, you know, put in the stocks and kind of just publicly shamed for your supposed misdeeds. And then eventually you'd just kind of go back to business and hopefully stop being a witch. And then at some point somebody said, oh, you know, we should probably just kill them. There's no hope. They're corrupted by evil deeds, by evilness all around. So let's just take care of that. And so they would be executed, and then the bodies would be burned, because it was like, oh, it's a corrupted body. We have to release the evil by burning it. And also, I think just burning bodies might have been a somewhat typical thing at that point in time, just because. And then somebody decided to just cut out that middleman, and, you know, why don't we just burn them alive? Fun, isn't it? History's fun. And then the last thing that is, in particular with the colonial witch trials, this might have happened in Europe as well. In fact, I'm pretty sure it happened in England at least. But, again, correct me if I'm wrong. You died a witch, you were executed for being a witch, you would then just have your body just kind of dumped somewhere. That's why when they're on the witch trail, Taylor and Daniel, there's that area that's like, oh, this is where we believe the first executed witch is buried somewhere in this area. Because you didn't get like marked graves, you didn't get to be in the town cemetery. You were, a terrible, horrible monster, and they did not want you anywhere near their community, alive or dead. So there's a lot of unmarked graves out there. And so that's some more history for you as we're going through this museum. Now let's check out these, and something's gonna break, like the rope, and it's gonna fall, and it's gonna be
disturbing.
It creeped the hell out of me.
Oh, I guess I was mistaken. They're not gonna do that, at least not yet. Maybe when we walk by, if something will drop and it'll be spooky. I spent way too much time researching this stuff, and you're going to hear about it, because what am I going to do with this knowledge? If not, try to apply it to what's going on here and give you more information that you may or may not be aware of, because there was a lot of stuff I wasn't until I was doing this research.
That thing felt so real, like we were right there.
When told by the court that Amy had been seen by witnesses many miles away, so more people joined in on the accusations? Or is it they were saying, no, Mary wasn't there, she was here? That's so, like, they were in her defense, maybe? And we talked about spectral evidence. The AKA a ghost is touching me. It's like, you can't prove it. I'm just saying this. This is now evidence. We can't recreate it. We can't confirm it at all. It's just one person's, testimony of just whatever. And when I was talking about the Connecticut witch trials, that was a big thing that kind of helped to quell the accusations and the guilty verdicts. Was it the guy, John Winthrop Jr., eventually said, okay, spectral evidence, you need at least 2 witnesses for these kinds of things. It's like, if you say, like, oh, a ghost is touching me, there's got to be somebody else who witnessed, and I think it was 2 separate events of spectral evidence like that. Like, oh, I saw her flying in the woods. Another person couldn't say, yeah, I saw that too. It's like, oh, a week later I saw that, or something like that. Like, you needed people to kind of corroborate that there was multiple instances of things going on. And that kind of shut some people up, because none of this shit was real. You were all making it up. Hope you don't mind me doing a lot of talking like this. It's just
people being in cahoots with the devil.
Right. And this kid Mary, who snitched on everyone, that's got to be the girl we're seeing.
I found it all very interesting to look into all of this stuff and really get a better understanding of what it all meant and what went into things getting to the point that they did. And it was really interesting. And the game is covering a little bit of that, but I just want to contribute my own information as best as I can recollect. Because, yeah, I hate to say it, but that's probably the best part of this game so far, is me doing that research. Interesting that she references that Amy made a puppet when Mary apparently made a puppet. Fashioned by her own hand, as she said. Alright, let's go along, see what else we can find in this. Stuff was ready for transfer, but it didn't get transferred.
This is the same trial we saw back in the police station.
Disturbingly alike.
A lot of these are either recreations or direct copies of images that you can find online when looking for stuff about witch trials, particularly Salem. So some of this stuff, it looks very familiar, but I can't say if it's the exact thing that I saw or if it's an inspiration. Is this just a window? It's just a window. With a kitty! I love cats. I also love dogs, and I like raccoons and red pandas, and otters are really cute, and bunnies are cute, and bush babies and sugar gliders are also very cute, and baby monkeys, also cute, and quokkas, I think is how you say it. They're like an Australian marsupial. They have little pouches, just like kangaroos, but they're small little guys. They always look like they're smiling. So yeah, I like animals.
We can get out this way.
Animals are cute.
Where'd that little girl get to? She let us in here and then disappeared.
Maybe that was her plan all along.
I'm not sure about that.
Well, she got us to have a nice little bit of history. Some knowledge dropped on all of us one way or another there.
Almost out of juice. No signal out here anyway.
Really? Your phone sucks unless you didn't have it charged at the start of all this. Because I can, like, my phone, I can just have it sitting there and I'm not doing anything with it. You're not doing anything with it. You're just using it as a flashlight. I would expect it to last longer than that. But whatever.
You hear that?
Maybe. Heard something.
Starting
Not
to
sure
think
what.
that this game is unrealistic.
Professor? That you in there?
It might be Angela.
Can we just get out of here? Where the hell are the others?
Probably as lost as us.
You think they're looking for us?
Could be.
Angela's got no interest in finding me. That's for sure.
She's got a mean streak, all right. But she's got some heart.
You sure about that?
Yeah. Known her for a long time. Longer than any of you. She's been through some real shit. But she's still got a soft side.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
So this view is not going to have a surprise little jumpy jump. Oh, it didn't. Fine. That's twice now that you set up an opportunity and then squandered it. Maybe we're past all the jump scares now that things are actually starting to kind of sort of happen.
$10 says no one's home.
I'm not touching that. Still, first place we've seen in a while.
Find a way in?
Like you found a way into that store?
Well, he
you
did.
a burglar in your spare time?
No. But I was in a past life.
Again, talking about past lives. So we got a door. I don't want to go in just yet. I want to see if there's secrets to find outside. It really feels like they're pushing certain things as like red herrings.
Not getting through this way.
But just because I'm not buying it doesn't mean I know what the truth is. There's really nothing.
Hey, Taylor, check this out.
Check what out?
My awesome beats. Wicka, wicka, wicka.
Oh, yeah. And that's $10 you owe me.
Don't owe you squat. I never took the bet.
Fair enough. It's loose. I can jimmy this open, no problem. We could have a big powwow about who goes in first. But we both know what's gonna happen.
Right.
Sure thing.
Take the initiative and... Oh, is this the museum too?
Easy now, tough guy. Don't beat up the scary doll.
Funny. Get your ass in here. Come on. This way.
Oh, maybe this is our opportunity for...
These things look so real. They're freaking me out. What's up?
I just saw something.
Where the hell are you going? You sure this is a good move?
Nope.
Not a great sound. Okay, you're hiding from something. Is that good or bad? Bad? Interesting. You can't see what she's hiding from.
That you? Taylor?
Alright, there's no path that way. Camera?
Taylor?
Cast aside your false idols and pray to the one Almighty Lord for forgiveness.
Taylor! You okay? What's going on? Come on. What happened? I heard voices.
I saw my fucking self looking back at me, dressed all weird, speaking funny. I mean, what the fuck?
I don't like either of those. Let's just say nothing.
This woman, the one who looked like me, they just dragged her out like some kind of criminal. I mean, shit. Let's get out of here.
We'll figure things out further on, but what we do know so far is it seems that Mary was accused Amy of like making like evil dolls or whatever, and then Tabitha took that doll from Mary. Maybe it's like she was found with it, and it was like, hey, you must be a witch too. Got a knife. Could
Found
cut
a
a
knife.
steak with that.
Maybe it was a knife once, when dinosaurs roamed the earth.
Think we should bring it along?
Here, you take it.
Why?
It's obvious, dummy. Self-defense.
You take it. You know, just in case.
What's interesting is, I mean, we have that premonition about a knife, but that was a very different angle, and we grabbed it, not Taylor. And the bracelets. You can kind of see them if I can get the light there. Those were in the premonition, so it was Taylor that grabbed the knife. There's the box and everything, and the tag. It's just slightly different. Nothing else in here. Hope it was a good idea to grab that knife. I'm so smart. I know we already looked at this stuff. I was just wondering if they would have any input on it. Okay, nobody's saying nothing about nothing. Oh! Excuse me? That's not the book. Yep, there is no more. Unless there's some in this direction. No, it's just 2 pages of stuff that means nothing to me, except that it clearly doesn't belong in a Bible. But yeah, okay. So it's definitely a good idea for me to be checking the stuff that's already been... Wait a... I'm okay. No chair there. Been in that room. Da-da-da. We looked at this. This is covered again? Apparently it's not covered. And we're using our X-ray vision. We're actually Superman this whole time. It'd be a good character model for Superman. I'd buy it. Superboy. Oh, I think I missed this last time, unless it wasn't there.
Hey, check this out.
The enclosed poppet, or doll, is thought to have originally belonged to a child in the late 1600s. Creepy. Shit, wait, I got it. This missing doll has got to be the one I saw with the kid.
You think? That's kind of weird.
Kinda weird? This place is full-on Nightmare Central. I don't want to stay here any longer than I have to.
With you on that.
But there's so much cool stuff, Taylor. I'm gonna have to check. That's gonna have to be in a wrap-up here, as we see what kind of differences there were between these two visits to the museum. Because I'm actually really surprised that I would have missed that. Things are getting real foggy.
Come on, this way out.
Oh, hello. Are things becoming any clearer for you? That thing, whatever it is, just keeps coming for Angela. Unrelenting. I do hope she's okay.
You have a knife too.
Now, at last, someone has a weapon. That might prove useful. Let me help you out. Give you one little hint.
You know what? The game is keeping us in the dark so much as it is. I'm just gonna keep riding that.
No
And like I said,
hint.
I have the internet to impress.
Perhaps you think you can piece things together yourself.
I don't
The stakes are
necessarily know.
much greater than life and death. I hope you know what you're doing.
I don't. I never do.
I'll leave you now with some wise words from a great Irish playwright I once met in Paris, I believe. Never judge anyone shortly. Every saint has a past, and every sinner has a future. She's just a child. Let's speak again later.
Looks like we've...
And on that note, I guess this will be the end of a video. We'll do a little wrap-up of anything that I might have missed, and like I said, kind of go over the differences in the museum visit there and see what that means for us. I mean, that's a bit of a stretch to say, like, oh, it's likely used in the courtroom. Okay, so nothing jumping out as super neat or anything, like connections there. Stuff that we didn't already know or was spelled out to us. Your own hero. It just seemed like the right thing to do to let her have the knife. Maybe I'm going to be wrong about that. It's calling them demons, so... And with this being all out of sorts, I just don't know what to make of any of it. But there we go. Little wrap up to come. I'll see you next time. Love ya. Mwah. Bye-bye. Didn't miss any secrets this time, but there's still a few things to go over. When we're exploring the graveyard as Angela, we can find Abraham Allister's grave with a Latin phrase written on it. When translated, it reads, "The deed cannot become wet." As true then as it is today, make sure to store your legal documents in a safe, dry environment to prevent them from getting damaged. Or, I guess it could mean the deed cannot be undone, which I guess is also meaningful, especially for these kinds of games. Now let's look at the 2 trips through the museum. It turns out that the display case for the poppet was something I could have looked at with Andrew and just missed it. Not only that, but the poppet was actually in there.
Hey, take a look at this. I've seen this before.
Where?
On the road outside that shitty little bar we stopped at. Angela and me saw it laying there, picked it up. Right before that kid Mary scared us for the first time.
Interesting.
You think she maybe led us here? Wanted us to see this?
Let's take a proper look.
What the hell, Professor?
There are many, many stories about how spirits can attach themselves to objects.
Sure, in movies. Take it easy, will you?
What if Mary's spirit is somehow attached to this thing? We burn it, and this could all end right here.
Look at it another way. Maybe by burning her precious things, it's just gonna piss the kid off.
You might be right.
So how come the poppet wasn't there when Daniel and Taylor came through? Probably for the same reason the book about witch trials became a Bible, and the door Andrew and John entered the museum through became not there. The only other difference I noted between the 2 trips was that there wasn't anything covering the window when Daniel and Taylor came through, even if I left it alone as Andrew. And finally, the curator says,
words from a great Irish playwright I once met in Paris, I believe.
He's referring to Oscar Wilde,
Never
born in
judge
Ireland
anyone short.
and died in
Every
Paris.
saint has a past.
I can't remember if I addressed
Every
this
sinner
before or not,
has a
but the
future.
curator is a personification of death,
She's just
in
a
case that
child.
wasn't already clear to you.
Let's speak again later.